In 2021, the pandemic absolutely upended our lives, and we learned a super valuable lesson. We never wanted to go to the before again. We had accidentally exited the rat race. Hi, we're Jody and Kristen, and these are our two kids, Rylan and Tegan. In 2021, we decided to pull our kids out of school, buy a 30-foot travel trailer, and travel around the U.S. Our one and only goal? To spend more time together and live a life of adventure. Subscribe below and come join us. I think the idea of rat race is different for everyone, but for us this is what it looked like. We would rush every morning to get out the door to our jobs or school, and we'd get home in time for swim lessons or ninja class, and then we're just so exhausted. I'd quickly make dinner, and then we'd hit our heads on the pillow, and then boom, we'd be on repeat the day again. And honestly, it sucked. When the pandemic happened, everyone was just forcibly halted to a stop. And it was really hard at first. But then at the same time, it made me realize how fast we'd been running around with our heads cut off. It took a lot of time before I actually began to feel really grateful for the things that were happening to us. We learned kind of three really valuable lessons in that time frame. One, friends and family were really important to us. Two, we really needed to slow down and spend more time with our kids. And three, traveling was really important to our mental health and overall happiness. So in this time frame, Jody and I hatched a plan. We knew we couldn't live like this anymore. We didn't want to go back to before. We hated the pandemic and being locked inside too. And it just kind of unleashed our minds and made us realize yeah, we wanted to do this all different. I think our first priority was that we wanted to travel, and we knew that through travel we would have friends, family, more time with our kids. We'd get all those pieces by doing this. So we really needed to hatch a plan. How are we going to make this happen? What we decided is that we wanted to purchase an RV, and we wanted to try and travel as much as we can. We didn't necessarily want to travel full time because, again, family was really important to us, and all of them were back in this one place. We wanted to be able to come and go in this really fluid, authentic way, however we wanted it to look. But we had really four major hurdles that we had to solve. So our first problem was, how are we going to work? Well, the pandemic really helped here because Jody's company really went straight up online, and it actually turned out really well. So for us, getting a remote job was a little bit easier because we just had to ask to continue to do what was already happening. Our second problem was, how are we going to even afford to travel and keep our home? Everything we'd seen at this point, people sold everything that they owned and bought an RV and started doing this. And we didn't feel like that was the best financial decision to make. So we chose to keep our home. And the two reasons why is, one, we wanted to be able to come and go from a location, and because our whole family lived there, we love our neighborhood, we love our friends and family that live there, we needed that location. Two, we wanted to make sure that we were keeping this long-term investment, and we were going to use that investment to fund what we were currently doing. We took our home and we made it into an Airbnb, and that house, when we are gone, actually funds our travels. We make more money not living in our house than we do living in our house. When we leave, that house funds the mortgage, the electric, the water, and it gives us extra cash to do extra travel things that we want to do. Our third problem was, how are we going to school our kids? Now, I am a high school biology teacher. I've been a biology teacher for 12 years. I loved my job. I loved teaching. I had zero interest in wanting to homeschool my kids, and I really didn't enjoy it very much at first. I know, it sounds weird because I've taught high school forever, but it was totally different. It's a totally different process. And I have to say, this year is probably the first time I really have a grasp on it. I'm really enjoying what we're doing. I love the curriculum we have. I love the independent things that we're doing. So obviously, I will talk about this more because it's been a real process for me becoming a homeschool parent. Our fourth problem was, how are we going to even afford to buy an RV? We didn't own one. We had a pop-up and a minivan. So we needed to come up with a system that was going to work for us to like live in. I believe you could start with a pop-up and a minivan. If that's what you have and you want to do this, just go, do it. Just get started, because the rest will fall into place. We were lucky enough that we were actually able to sell the pop-up, sell the minivan, and get the truck. And we refinanced one of our properties to buy the RV. I don't recommend that if you don't have a payback plan, but we knew that we were going to be able to shore that up and have it all paid off within a few years. So the investment we were making in our dream was the real payoff for us in this situation. So where are we today? Well, I'm in the middle of Nevada, spending the most authentic time of my life with my kids. They are thriving in homeschool. I never thought that I would homeschool, that my kids would be homeschoolers. And some of the benefits that I've seen come out of them through homeschool, I never anticipated either. We didn't dream this up from the beginning. Honestly, the pandemic kind of dished out this scenario for us, and we just took hold of it and went with it. But none of it happened overnight. I mean, we literally had several roadblocks in the way that we were like, all right, how do we get there? And we just made sure every choice we were making was directly linked to the vision that we had as a whole of what we really wanted. This life and what we're doing, it's not always easy. And I think sometimes like videos and things show you like the best parts of whatever. Honestly, you can end up in situations that are really taxing and draining and exhausting, and you kind of just want the comfort of home in these moments. But I would not give up a single bad moment of any of this. I love it all. I love it all. And escaping the rat race and doing this was the best decision our family ever made. If you want to know more about the RV that we chose, I actually did a video tour of this, which is a Lance 2445. I also did another video of how we got our house ready for Airbnb, and then I also did another video of us kind of packing up and getting ready and how we kind of live in the house and use it as an Airbnb. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like button. It helps tremendously. And if you want to know more and you want to see more about what we're doing, subscribe and we'll take you on our adventures with us. Comment below. Let me know what you want to know more about, because I want to make those videos. What are you interested in knowing? How do I help you get out here? And let's do this together. See you next week, friends.